Here we go, guys. One away, one win away, and we are getting Champions League football. Villa fans, get involved in the comment section down below. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. We are very close to 25,000 subscribers. So play your part, get involved, share your thoughts, smash the likes. I wasn't at the game today, so I spent it with family. Me and Margot watched our first ever game together. It was special. There was controlled limbs, but yeah, a victory. Watching it with Margot was absolutely wicked. So 2-0, clean sheet, 3 clean sheets in a row, and just a calming, professional, controlled, standard victory for Aston Villa. I thought this game just needed Villa to be at our best, at our best functioning as a unit and as a team, and having the correct application, etc. And I just always felt like throughout the game that we were just going to be pretty good and create opportunities. I think first half was a lot of control from Villa. I think they tried to target Matty Cash with the ball over the top to Son. But apart from that, that's the only really opening and tactic that Spurs had got, really. And I mean, we've got to be honest here, right? That is something that you'd expect to see at, I don't even know what level, just pumping it over the top to Son to run on. I mean, it was. I mean, they're such a poor team. They're a poor team, and even when they rotate, they're poor. They just live off those scrappy, bitey, niggly, losing their way. Tell sort of getting niggly with players, and they just lose their way, and they're just not a good team. And I don't think they're a likable team either, to be honest. So anyway, enough of them, more about us. So that was their only really opportunity. And I think as the game went on, we'd cottoned onto it. We shut that down. We'd got Kamara, who was, screening and covering and tracking back a little bit more, just adding that little bit of added protection. And we created openings. There was a lot of nearly moments from Villa. Watkins sometimes just get it 80 feet, shoot, or just shoot first time. So, I can't be really too critical, because there was half chances, good save from the keeper as well, from the Rodgers one that went across, a little bit like the goal that Watkins scored against Bournemouth. But, there's one player in particular who will get all the headlines, and there's another one that deserves massive amounts of praise. The first one, who I think we can all probably say was man of the match, is Asensio. For me, that's his best game for Aston Villa. He was magnificent, and it looks like a player that has just acclimatized himself with the Premier League. That's what that performance looked like. It looked like somebody that was confident, trusting his body, knowing the pace of the game, knowing the tempo of the Premier League, gliding, glancing, just roaming, playing those little through passes, and just looking a massive threat, getting shots off, helping his team. And I just thought Asensio was incredible for Villa, and he was unplayable like that. That it was a little bit like what we saw early on, and now it's come back where he can drift and find that pocket, and he can sort of lure the opposition into a trap. And it's like a sense of security. Like the player thinks he's there, and then Asensio just drifts and moves, and the player's like, "Where's he gone?" And he's like, "Over there now." He's just got that real sort of like ability to just move around the pitch without the opposition knowing where he is. And I thought he was incredible. The next one, who I thought was very, very good, and we'll see it more on the debrief tomorrow, but Matsson's position when he's stepping inside and playing inside around the 18-yard box is an absolute game changer for Villa, because it's so difficult for the opposition to pick him up, because 1 minute he's playing at left back, the next minute he's playing as an inside forward. And I just think Maatsen is so good, and I love him, I do. He's got that pace, that acceleration. He's got that touch and that zip about him, which I think already just gives you that sort of attacking edge. So I was really impressed with him. Another player who I was impressed with as well, again, is Onana. I thought he was perfect. I thought he just seamlessly now fits into the team. He's destroying stuff, driving forward, aerially very good. So I thought that Onana was very good, and I actually thought Konsa had one of his best games in recent weeks. I think he really stepped up. I think his recoveries, I think Tal was giving him a little bit of not a tough game, but like keeping him honest. And I think Konsa just bullied that battle completely. Pau passing it into midfield as well was good at times. And I just think overall we play well. Watkins working hard. Rodgers, little bit quiet. And then Kamara, great as well. So we got the goal, and it was a set piece again. Ole, ole, ole. Austin McPhee, Austin McPhee, Austin McPhee, ole, ole. So another one, header down. And do you know what? I don't think anyone would have picked those two goal scorers, because Konsa should score more goals for me, and he should be more of a threat in the box. I've always felt like our centre backs should be scoring more goals. So it's great to see him get one. And then Boubacar Kamara, I think he's been lining that up the last couple of weeks, guys. Kamara's been winding that foot up a little bit. We've noticed him stepping onto stuff a little bit more and having a pop, and we need to take more shots from distance. And, again, Asensio drifts that player, opens the space up for Kamara to be able to get his strike off. And yeah, great stuff. And you can see like the little tweaks in a goal, how certain movements can make it. So, you can think, oh, the strike's great, but watch the run from Asensio. And another player that I thought was very good for Villa was McGinn. And he was narrowly wide a couple of times. And he was winding his foot up as well. So I think it's great to see these players shooting from distance, and it's just brilliant to see us get the victory. And I'll reiterate something that I've spoke about recently about Villa, is this mentality. And having this mentality is so, so important moving forward. The ability to go into high pressure games and being able to deliver and win. So the application the last couple of weeks has been the best for me. I can't ask for anything more from the players. I thought Cash worked hard a couple of times, could have got the ball in, but structurally he cuts back, and he does try and contain the shape of the team. But again, if you want to see like the tail of the game, guys, it's utter domination for Villa. They weren't even in the game. Look, Villa are in the green, Spurs are in the blue, and it's just Villa dominating that game. So very, very good from a Villa point of view. Utter domination. Spurs left to no real sort of territorial dominance, apart from a little spell where they were knocking it left to right at the start of the second half, and then they booted it out of play. So I think that just really summarises them this season of how they've been playing. I do think Kingski's a good goalkeeper, to be fair. Every time I've seen him play, he seems to, do really, really well. But I think from a Villa point of view now, what does it do for Villa? It massively now puts pressure on Newcastle, and it massively puts pressure on Nottingham Forest as well. But what it also does, while this game's currently in play and it's a draw, there's going to be that anxiety at Stamford Bridge as well, that we now, as things stand, have moved into fourth place. So whenever you watch this, something might have changed. But currently, when I'm recording it, it's still in play, and they are drawing with Manchester United. And, it puts us in a real good place now, a solid week where we just focus and go to Old Trafford and get the victory. And hopefully that should be enough for Aston Villa to get Champions League football again. So a real solid professional performance from Aston Villa. Exactly what we wanted, exactly what was needed. We've got the win, and I think it was just really pleasing to see. So Villa fans, if you are new to the channel, subscribe. Let's get to 25,000. Smash the likes and comment your thoughts. Up the Villa.